to the flyweight bout between Viviane Araujo and Amanda Ribas. -110 for Ribas, +110 for Araujo. Over under set at 2.5 rounds, -240 for the over, +240 for the under. Both girls have fought. No, they haven't. Never mind. I thought they both fought Alexa Grasso, but they haven't.
They both fought
Chukagian, that's what
Chukagian.
it was. But yeah, who do you like in this one?
I've got to stick on the side of Amanda Ribas. I think Araujo can leave herself open to get hit a little bit. I think if Ribas gets it to the ground too, I mean, Araujo's not terrible on the ground, but Ribas has shown some slick submission skills just from watching her past fights. She can kind of control girls too, and she can grind out wins. It does make me a little bit concerned if she stands and bangs with Araujo. I think Araujo, not necessarily, the big, powerful puncher, but I mean, for her women's MMA and having 11 wins, she's got 3 knockouts, so she has the ability to do it. I do think she'll be. I don't even want to say she's going to be slightly better on the feet, but I do think Amanda Ribas is just going to have an advantage in the grappling and the submission. I mean, you look at Araujo's record. She has lost to Alexa Grasso in her last fight, who's fighting for the title on this card. She lost to Caitlin Chukagian as well, and then she beat Andrea Lee, Roxanne Modafari, who's about 105 years old, and Montana De La Rosa. So on the ground, I guess she's no slouch there too. If you're beating Montana De La Rosa by decision, so I just like Ribas more. I think she's got more of a killer instinct. She's going to go for it more. Yeah, I got nothing else really on this fight. It's going to be Amanda Ribas in my opinion, though. What do you got?
That's a close one. For Ribas, comes into the UFC at strawweight and gets a couple wins against Emily Whitmire, Mackenzie Dern, Ronda Marcos. Takes a fight at flyweight against Paige Van Zant, submits her, goes back down to strawweight, gets knocked out against Marina Rodriguez, gets a decision win against Verna Jandiroba, and then goes back up to flyweight and loses a split decision to Caitlin Chukagian. So she went up to flyweight and then fought the number 1 contender and lost a split decision, put on a really good fight in that one. I think she's probably going to have, it's a little weird because Araujo is a very strong girl, but I think Ribas has the better technique when it comes to, when they're in the clinch. Ribas loves the judo throws. I think her grappling's a little bit better as far as the BJJ goes. She got really solid hands, and I think she should win this fight. The only thing that scares me is if Araujo can piece her up on the feet. But the thing is, it's women's MMA, and if it's going to be a stand-up battle, I'd probably want the dog. But this line is close enough to where it's like you're not really getting too much value either side. And if this fight hits the ground, Araujo has not great top pressure, but she's just a strong girl, and she will mix in her takedowns. We look at the stats. I mean, she averages 2 takedowns per 15 minutes, pretty much the same with Ribas. So both girls look to get it to the ground at some point. Both girls land about the same amount of strikes per minute. The difference is Araujo absorbs 5.33 strikes per minute, and Ribas absorbs 2.57. So if you're going to look off the stats, that's kind of where she gains the edge. She doesn't get hit as much, but maybe that's due to her being on the ground a little bit more or having, the time on the ground. If you look at Araujo's, when she gets her takedowns, she doesn't have a ton of submission threats from the top, and she doesn't really hold you there very well. So I think even if she gets the takedowns with Ribas, she's going to be able to sweep her or look for arm bars, look for triangles, look for stuff off of her back, or give enough of a threat there to where Araujo's going to have to defend it and she can get back up to her feet. So that leads me to taking Amanda Ribas in this one. But yeah, I mean, it's a close fight. I think it's probably really fairly priced. Both girls have fought the top of the division in Caitlin Chukagian. Both girls fell short. One of them got a split. One of them got a unanimous decision loss. So I'll give the slight edge to Ribas in this one. We'll see if we get there from a betting standpoint, but I don't know. Maybe I want to say a long shot prop would be like Ribas by sub, but Araujo hasn't really been finished too many times. She's never been submitted. Her only loss by finish was a knockout back in 2017, not even in the UFC. So yeah, it probably goes to decision. And for women's MMA, I just don't really like when fights go to
Yeah.
decision because it's just super greasy. So